superstar. You shine so bright.
You say it's hard to say. There's nothing left to pray for, and nothing left to dream about. Can you tell the difference between every days and every night? Keep on saying it was a lie. You say it's hard to say. There's nothing left to pray for, and nothing left to dream about.
Welcome to the Alita Army channel. This is Radio KAOS, the voice of the Alita Army, episode 36, discussion with Gunnm Collectibles and the US re-release update, where we discuss all things to do with the movie Alita Battle Angel, the source manga Gunnm, and the greatly desired sequels. I'm your host for this episode, Max Tech Jure, and with me are Paulie from South England. G'day, Paulie.
Hello.
Sarah Bellion pushing all the buttons in the background. G'day, Star. Eddie McTrigger, who'll be here a bit later. Foxfire's clicking away, working on his Alita model for his fan trailer. G'day, Fox.
Hi. Hey.
And we'll also have Odd John Hoots and Last 300 on a bit later. They're running late. And our guest slots today is Dave Birch from Brisbane. He's back again. G'day, Dave.
G'day, mates.
Alita Rave is hanging out there somewhere. G'day, Alita.
Hello.
Cranberry's here with us again from North Carolina. G'day, Cranberry.
Hello.
And our new guest today is a big manga collector from France. It's Gunnm Fan Club or Gunnm Collectibles. G'day, Gunnm. How you doing?
Hello.
Nice to have you on. So, being our new guest today, could you tell us a little bit about how you got into Alita in the first place and your links to the fandom?
Okay, so I started to read the manga when I was 13, and then I become a huge fan, and I started to collect the CD and the DVD, and so I never stop. It's been 20 years now, and that's it.
But you've collected a little bit more than DVDs and CDs, yes?
Yes.
So you have a camera set up so that we can have a look at your collection, is that correct?
Yes, I just do it.
We got a little sneak peek earlier on, guys, and it's impressive to say the least. I guess you're going to need to mute the mic on your PC.
Yes, it's. I don't. So does it work? Okay. Hello.
Yep, we can see.
Do you see it? Okay.
Yep.
Cool. So here it is, my my collection with all my manga here. So it's behind the I don't know where to start. Here I have all my books. This bookshelf is full of Gunnm editions. So we have here Japanese one, the French editions, and some of Americans, Italians, Dutch, and other Alita books. I have some other books by Kishiro here.
Oh, wow.
Do you want?
Do you have library cards? It's very impressive.
Thank you. So, is there anything you want to see? Just tell me.
Do you have a favorite edition or a particularly precious book that's very hard to get?
Favorite, of course, is this one. I think you know it very well.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I got that just recently.
Yeah. Cool. I got a very much edition, but this one is very the better one.
The printing is excellent. Did they do two different versions in French? I'm just wondering. So in English, we've got the original Viz translation, and then we got the second translation from, how do you pronounce that? Kodansha?
Kodansha.
Thank you. I knew you'd know, Corinne. But did you have two different translations in French?
Yes. First, we have this edition. And this one, it's the same translation, but they made this one with a new translation.
Which one do you prefer?
This one is better quality, but there's the translation is strange sometimes, but
yeah. Well, I've noticed that with English as well. I think it's got to do with it's got to be 10% different, so that they don't have copyright issues.
Yes, maybe. But the printing is excellent. The paper is good, so I like it. And something really hard to have. There's the French editions are hard to have now, but I think those books are really hard to have. And especially the books Blockbuster and Outrigger.
Wow.
And Ito. I don't know if you know these books.
I've heard of them. I've never seen them.
What's your oldest? What's your oldest book? Do you have one from when you were 13?
The oldest book I have, it's the first, this one, but I don't have it anymore because I give it to somebody who destroy it.
Oh dear. Sacrilege.
So, yes. This one is hard to have now, too.
Yes, I've been trying to get a hold of that.
Oh, the Ars Manga. That's like an art book or something, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, there's a few there.
Gunnm Collectibles, did you get to the recent French comic convention where Yukito Koshiro attended?
Yes.
I thought you might have.
No. I got this from this is at Angoulême in France. So he signed me this.
Nice.
It was a very very particular moment in my life. I don't really realize yet that I met him. And it was nice.
Well, 20 years of collecting all the stuff to do with his work, I would expect that it would have been quite emotional.
Yes. So,
I asked Cranberry this same question, but with like some of these things are going to be so valuable that do you have like any sort of insurance, or like do you have that sort of thing in France? Like let's just say your house went on fire or something, like would you have some of that stuff all under insurance or anything like that?
No,
because I'd imagine it could be very valuable, or if like someone broke in and decided to.
Yes, it's very hard to make here in France to for collectible things.
So you couldn't get insurance for your collection?
I think it's possible, but it's hard to make and hard to make understand to.
Oh yeah, I think I know your answer now. That's
Yeah, so basically a lot of it's irreplaceable and unpriceable because you can't get it.
Yeah, so to be able to sort of say, hey, give me this much because, yeah.
So here we have. Sorry, so here we have my figures. Up. You know a lot of them, I think.
Yes, there's a few there that are selling on eBay for ridiculous prices.
This one?
Yeah.
No? Yes. This one is this one is overestimated because it's very cheap, and I don't really like it. Everybody wants it, I know, but it's not really a good figure.
I noticed a Prime 1 box sitting in the middle of the floor there. You haven't unpacked that yet?
Prime 1 is here.
Oh, you have unpacked it. You've just got the box as well. Oh, there you go. Have you seen the ads for the new Prime 1? The motorball Prime
yes,
1?
Yes. But it's really too big. I want it, of course, but I don't like when the base is bigger than the figure. And,
Yes, it's huge.
The diorama is really huge, and
Yeah, Cranberry said she's going to have to completely rearrange her entire display area to fit it in. So I think that's a problem that a lot of people are going to have.
yes.
What's that figure? What's that figure above the Prime 1? I haven't seen that before.
This one is a figure made by Japanese guy. His name is Tanushi Watanuki. And voilà. Let's look at here. But it's a cast off, and you probably know what does it mean. So
Rooted hair.
I like it, but it's the face is not good.
Yeah, the face looks pretty standard.
Vladdy would have so much fun with that.
Oh, yeah.
Would you have liked that the figure looks more like the galley or more like the Alita from the movie in this particular version?
It's more like the Alita from the movie.
Yeah.
Have you ordered a the bust, the
Queen Studio? Yes.
Yeah. So
Yes,
you're lined up for Queen Studio.
Yes. I don't know when will it comes, but I paid the last payment this month.
And the Hot Toys, have you got one of those coming?
The Hot Toys, yes. I don't know when it will come, but probably.
Is that the metal sword?
Soon. Yes, it's the one from Weta in steel.
You must have been ready to order that because they went so quickly.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure half of those people who buy the swords were scalpers.
Probably. You drooling yet, Cranberry?
I am drawing, yes. Why? Oh, drooling.
Yeah.
Oh.
Not drawing, drooling.
I think Cranberry is probably more getting ideas on how to display hers once she gets it all set up and unpacked.
Maybe a little bit. Although I will say about the Steel Sword, Weta told me they hadn't released it yet. So I don't know what's going on with that because I've had an order for forever. So I'm not sure if they just didn't produce enough or what.
Ooh, there's a bust there of Mars Chronicles galley.
Yes, this one. It's made by me.
Oh, very nice. I like Danko on the shoulder.
Thank you.
So you make some of your own stuff.
Yes, because there's no much stuff, so I made some. Like this one is a custom made by me.
Oh, I saw you advertising that. Yeah, that's a different model that you modded.
It's a Bishoujo figure by Shonya Yamashita, and I custom it.
So that's Galley from
Sonic Finger.
Yes, I love Sonic Finger. Sonic Finger is amazing.
I love Sonic Finger. It's a cool story, and I really like the design. So I made one.
You can tell it's Sonic Finger because of the detail on the sides of the body.
Yes.
You actually showed this off on Twitter a couple of weeks ago, I think.
Yes.
So did you just finish that, or have you had that for a while?
I finished it, but I made it years ago, and there are things I don't really like. It's an old project. So I made this too. Yep. It missed the horn here.
Oh, right. Circa pan.
Holds up the pan. And I print stuff too, like this one. This one I have here. It's unfinished project. You can see I made this one, but it missed the hair. Oops! I made it for somebody, and I made a copy for me, but it missed pieces and the hair. There is this kit which is really rare, but
Max, close your eyes.
Yes, I know.
I cut the legs and the arms to make it more dynamic, because it was very static, and so I work. It's not finished.
It was probably done off the pose where she's walking out for the first time.
Walking out or rolling out?
Well, rolling out, yeah.
Those kits are really rare too, but it's it's not finished. Like so much stuff.
Oh yes, galley. What do they call it?
Mansionos. Come on, get it right. I'm up to the
cat galley.
Cat galley, yes.
Alrighty.
And
cool.
here,
Interesting thing that not everybody knows about that is that was actually a competition that Yukito ran for a design for when she came back in the manga, and it was actually designed by a fan. It wasn't his design. It was the winner of the competition.
What was that, Cat Galley?
So you can't blame that on Yukito. Or you can if you blame him for picking it as the winner, but he didn't design it.
There's here my dolls. As you can see, I really like this doll. Yep.
Yep, you got a few of those.
Yes, 8.
You should put the numbers on their foreheads, and then they can be the AR series.
Yes. So, and here it's some displays, posters. And there is so much things that I can't expose everything.
You've run out of display space.
Yes.
Stay home and read the manga. Love it.
I want to be able to scan that and use that as a meme. Like, you know how everyone like says, stay calm and do insert meme here. Just have that. Especially when you encounter the not so kind people on Twitter.
Mm. So what's your most prized piece of merch, Gunnm Collectibles? Do you have something that you're particularly proud of or is particularly rare that you don't think you could possibly get anymore? Obviously, your personal ones are very rare, but of something that was actually released.
Something really rare is, it's hard to say, but this book is really rare, of course, but I don't know. The dolls are hard to find.
Oh, I know. I like the sex one, Zex one you've got down there. I always mispronounce it.
This one?
Yeah.
Yes. I made a copy for somebody, but
so was that a 3D printed one, the Zex doll?
The Zex doll, where?
The sex figure.
Is the Zex figure 3D printed?
This one?
Yeah.
No, it's a kit.
Oh, right.
Those 3 are kits made by somebody. His name is Kaz.
Oh,
He's
Zeka.
a Japanese guy, and they are hard to find because he sold them on Wonderfest or Japanese festival, so it's hard to find.
He probably didn't realize that there was a demand for them overseas.
I asked him if he want to sell them, but he don't want because those products are authorized by Kodansha, or so he don't want to sell outside the festival.
Right.
So here we have some DVDs, CDs, the Motorball DVD, the game for PS1, Other books. Some another signed paper.
So my understanding is that Gunnm is very popular in France. It's like probably the most
Yes.
The most place outside of Japan where Gunnm is most popular.
Yes.
Have you found that?
Yes, we have a lot of chance here because this manga comes when the manga started to be published in France, and we have some titles like Dragon Ball and Gunnm, and it's how can I say? So the French who started to read manga in the 19th really like Gunnm, and it's a manga very popular. And we have a lot of chance because there are some display things or commercial things, so I can collect them.
Well, I think it's official, Cranberry. I think he's got you beat.
Oh, easy.
Cranberry probably has the biggest collection in North America, I would suspect.
Yes.
But yeah, you've got to beat.
I saw your collection, Cranberry, as it's a beautiful collection.
Thank you. It's still too many in boxes.
Yeah, I was going to say, if we wanted to be fair, hers is still half unpacked. So.
And here, so, oh, excuse me.
No, you're right. I'm just going to say that you have a lot of unique items.
Ah, yes. Okay. And to finish here, I have some T-shirts, and this is a legging. You probably know.
Oh,
Damn.
I have some official T-shirts, like those ones. This one is for women, but this one.
there are many T-shirt designs out there, I happen to know. That's cool.
That's Cat Galley. This one is an official. This one too. This one is made by me with my logo. This one is made by Robbie Ladd, is a designer. This one too.
Zeka.
This one, you know this one.
Yep.
Maxie's favorite. Oh, that's a cute pose. Angel of Death, and she's just smiling. Peace.
Peace is actually.
And that's it.
Very nice. So, have you ever seen anything that you couldn't get? Like, is there something you're still hunting for?
There are some things I miss. Yes, some objects like a mirror with Zex and Gali. I missed because it was too much. The price is very really too much. There's other figures, but everything I can't have, I search, and someday I found it. Because it's been 20 years now collecting, and like the dolls, when I start, I think I can't really have one, and now I have 8 of them. So there's no really an object that I can't have, because when you search, you finish by sorry, it's late here. When you search, you finish by find what you want.
That's a nice version. That's the Japanese box set.
This one is German.
Oh, German, right.
This one, I love this one. It's Italian. It's really nice.
They do very good stuff in Italy.
It does say Panzer Edition. Holy crap.
So there is Aquanite in Japanese, French, English. Yes. And Alita books.
I think Cranberry has more editions of those than you do. That's the one thing I've noticed so far.
Because I have a problem.
She's been buying all the different editions that came out across the world. Did you get the Russian edition yet, Cran?
I did.
There you go.
Is that the novelization there?
Yeah.
Hardcover as well. Nice.
There's one was signed.
Oh no!
The French one, which is different from the English one.
How many times did you line up to get things signed by Yakito when you were there?
Oh.
Well, you got so many different signed things from him. How many times did you get him to sign something?
He probably didn't even bring anything. He just brought the address to the house and many markers. It's like, I want you to sign everything.
Yeah, you see that truck out back? Yeah, it's full of stuff. Do you have a couple of hours? And you have a Congo line, with one line of all the things coming with the stuff he wants to sign, and the other line going back to the truck wanted it.
So do you collect anything else? That was a question.
I collect some figures, but I prefer to keep my money for Gun.
Yeah, fair enough.
So sometimes I sell things to. So you have DS games. But I keep my money for Alita.
Sounds fair.
That's cool.
Yes.
And the poster for the game, yep. They really need to make another game. Like another good game, shall I say.
I have some posters too. Some are huge, so I can't put it on my walls. This is a Japanese one. from the movie.
Did you see the movie when it was out?
Well, that's a
When you
good
want.
question. I'm just done with you.
I expect the answer to be yes.
Oh, that's nice. That's almost
Love
like
this game. Sorry.
that drawing of Zalem is almost like the one that I had Cranberry do for me. Like I had a picture of Alita in the front of the picture, but in the background, like it was like a sky shot, and it had
Oh,
Zalem
yes.
in the background.
Yes.
Mm.
I saw it.
And it looked like that one that you just put down. So
She was channeling Kishiru.
I'm at volume, I think, 16 at the moment, and like I'm already next pay immediately ordering everything of Mars Chronicles. And the only other thing I plan to get is so I want to look up getting personalized plates for my car and having like either the word Alita or like letters and numbers with like the letter 4 being the letter A, and then the number 7 being T and all that other stuff. Like it could be Ali 74.
Some of those cinematic posters take up a lot of space.
Or Alita 99.
Yes.
Alita
This
99
one
would
is-
work.
Yeah.
You were saying, Gunnm?
This one is not in my collection. I have a flow upside, and it was it takes too much place. So I put it here to show you, but
You don't normally have it out.
no. And here, so you there's some drawings from artists. Here. This one from Darko Tattoo.
Very nice.
This was his painting. And I have some, how do you say, ex libris. It's some of hard paper, like not cardboard, but it's prints made to be collected. Here. It's like a shitajiki. This one is a Japanese shitajiki. I really love this one because he gives it to me from the hand to hand. It was such a great moment in my life.
I can only imagine, because I don't think he'd ever come to Australia.
That's all right. I'd be willing to buy a plane ticket just to, like, if he popped up at the world premiere of Alita 2 when it happens.
Yeah, when it happens. We have a question from the text chat on YouTube. That's from Enigma Seeker. He says, "What is your job? Are you a 3D sculpture artist?"
What is my job?
Yes.
I'm a stone carver.
A stone carver.
Have you ever wanted to carve Alita in stone?
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yes, I do it, but I don't know where it is. It's upstairs. It's in my Instagram. So, but yes, I want to make more stuff in stones, but it's a little bit creepy. But because I work for funerals things. Do you understand what I mean?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Okay. So I prefer to modeling and make stuff like this. Like this. But
So-
it takes. Sorry.
Go on. I thought you'd finished.
I just it takes really much time to make things like this. And, besides, I try to paint things like my kids, and so I don't know what I'm saying. Sorry.
That's all right.
Okay.
You're doing very well for late at night in another language, I've got to say.
Okay, thank you.
There was
I'm
another
not a
question.
very.
Vladdy99 from the UK says you should carve Alita in stone. He
Yes.
seems to be very keen on that idea.
Okay, maybe one day I will do it.
Maybe you should carve a big statue, like a life-size statue of Alita in, like marble or something. Make it fancy.
Oh, dude, you know what? If he wants to make $1 million, he should carve it out of jade. Just imagine that. Holy, that thing would be valuable as
Yes, it would.
expletive.
And David Rupnick had to say it. Imagine a gravestone with Alita carved in it.
No, it's like jade. So what
It
did
will
I
be
say?
my gravestone.
I was wondering about that. Thought maybe you already had it ready.
Is
Actually,
anything you? Sorry, excuse me.
No, you're right. I was thinking out loud, but go on.
No, just is there anything you want to see? Because I'm turning, and I don't know
Your
what to
arm's
show you.
probably getting tired, I'm sure. But
Slow.
thank you so much for showing us your collection. It's fantastic.
Okay.
I wish
Thank
you good
you.
luck in getting those last few things you haven't found yet.
Or
Yes.
haven't arrived yet.
I think with your dedication, you'll manage it.
Yes, maybe. So that's it.
Did you tell Yukito about your collection? Does he know about it?
No, we don't know about it. Or maybe he's on social medias, but I don't think he's interested by those things, because he don't really like merch of his manga.
So merch is more the publisher's thing, not the artist thing.
I show him some of my figures that I made on his website, but I'm just a fan, and probably he don't care about it.
He's probably a minimalist. So
Yes.
he doesn't go in for the physical things, just the purity of art.
Yes. Maybe.
I guess I'm glad that he is, because I mean, there's really no other manga like.
So text chat. Write in the text chat if there's something else you want to see before Gunnm Collectibles' arm falls off from holding the camera phone for so long.
Joshugan.
Is there anything that the text chat would like to see again before we let poor Gunnm Collectibles put his arm down?
Or anything you might want to ask him.
So there's some comments about damn, that's a mighty fine collection from Finn Berserker.
Sorry.
Battle Angel fans saying you should send a video of your collection to Yukito and see if you can get a reaction.
Okay.
Maybe send it to James Cameron and say, hey, I'd love to add this with some Alita 2 merch. Can you imagine that?
Buzz Lichtbier, I think I've mispronounced that horribly, but anyway, asks, do you have any anime cells?
Animate. Sorry.
But sometimes when there's something like a movie or an anime, they produce an artwork with a cell from the on celluloid, an image from the show.
Shells. Okay. Yes, I know what you mean, but no, I don't have cells because it's very fragile. So
oh yes,
I know people who have cells, and it's really fragile, and it's costs really, it costs really much. And I saw many of them in 20 years of collecting, but I never buy one because it's too fragile again.
Fair enough. Vladdy says it's the most beautiful collection of anything in the world.
Oh. Thank you. I'm blushing.
There's well, you've got to understand that this is a fandom of exactly what you've been collecting from all over the world. So if anybody's going to appreciate it, it's going to be this mob. Muskogee Creek Indian asks, how much time does he devote to caring and maintenance daily? So he wants to know how much time you spend keeping it clean.
Yeah, I imagine that, like the shells, the figures, like, does it ever get dusty? Do you ever have to like sort of take them out, clean the cabinet, and then put it back, or anything like that?
Oh, okay. I put them on a display case because to reduce the dust, and by day I spend some. It depends. Sometimes I spend one hour by day to search things on internet, and sometimes I spend one day on my weekend to rearrange my stuff. It's not easy to answer.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Sorry, I'm just amazed. So.
Well, if there's no more questions from the chat, well, thank you very much for showing us your fantastic collection, Gunnm Collectibles, and wish you all the best for finding all those hidden treasures that you're still yet to get hold of.
Okay, you're welcome.
You'll have to give us updates through Twitter about how it's going.
Yeah,
Yes.
don't feel like a stranger.
I put many things on Instagram if you want to see more photos, but I don't really like Twitter, so I try to post things, but I will do it, promise.
We'll get your Twitter address out to people so that they can find you on Twitter. On Instagram, and check out what you've got on Instagram.
Yes, okay. So on Twitter and Instagram, it's Gunnm Collectible, and I have a French group for the French who are listening. It's Gunnm France. If they were interested. So,
well,
so that's
like
it.
Max said, it's the biggest sort of like fan of Gunnm outside of Japan. So I imagine we'd have quite a few French fans in the fandom, in the Alita army.
Okay. Oh, there's some French fans, I think, but no, not quite much. Thank you for what you did with the Alita Army on the re-release.
Yes, we were somewhat amazed that it had the effect that it did. I guess there was a bit of a vacuum there that needed filling, and the Alita became that thing that filled the vacuum. So it was terrific timing.
Just like the alternate ending in the first arc before it goes into Lost Water. Because, like, didn't she, if I remember correctly, she died, or, whoops, spoilers, or appears to have died, but it's like she sort of roots Zarlin and Iron City together, or something like that.
I don't really understand. Sure.
Uriel said something good the other day. He said, Alita Battle Angel is now not only the best thing at the cinema in 2019, but also 2020.
Oh.
So I was kind of like, you're right.
Oh yeah, you said that when they re-release Alita in October 30, it will be the best movie of 2019 and 2020.
At least for some like us.
Well, yeah, to be fair, but it's like, stick that up anyway. I get a bit too excited.
Ooh, it's black. What is it?
No, it's not what I want to show you. I don't know where it is. It's a storyboard from the Oasis, but it's not here. I have stuff in my house. So.
I think Cranberry knows that problem well, that there's just so much stuff she can't find it all.
Yes. Sometimes I'm searching for a thing, but
Which box was it in?
sorry?
Oh, it's like trying to remember which box it was in.
Yeah, when Cranberry, when she was showing her stuff, she literally had to pull stuff out of boxes to like show us what was in them, like the various different Blu-rays and DVDs that she had, and like the OST or the soundtracks of the movies and all sorts of stuff. And it was just like moving boxes, and they were still like stored there. I was just thinking maybe just buy a second house and have that as a Alita museum in North Carolina. And you can hire me as the live-in security guard.
Do you speak French, David?
No, I was talking about for Cranberries.
Oh, right, Cranberries.
Although I
So-
did have an experience when I went to Paris one time for a family vacation, but we won't talk about that.
Well, thank you again, Gunnm Collectibles. We'll let you put your arm down now so that it doesn't fall off.
Yes, thank you
That is
so
a
much.
fantastic collection, and we'll get you back on again when you've got some more goodies to show us.
Yes, there are some great things to come in my collection, and I I'm lost my word. I will show you in time.
Thank you very much.
So, thank you to invite me on the show tonight.
Oh, you're very welcome. So we should probably jump back to the news because, oh my goodness, is there a lot of news? I can't believe how much news there is. I would have thought at this point in the Alita movie timeline that we'd be running out of things to talk about, but that is not the case at all. I'm truly gobsmacked at what's been happening recently. Just going to share my screen. All right, that one. Okay, there we go. Shared screen. Okay, so panel members, if you have anything to comment about while I go through these news posts, please feel free to jump in and have something to say.
Yes, can we change hosts? I'm just kidding.
Well, there you go, Angelus. You've just dobbed yourself in.
That's why I was just kidding, because I knew you'd come around and say that.
Be careful what you wish for, buddy. Be careful what you wish for. All righty. So this was a particularly interesting thing because we never hear anything out of Disney as far as Alita. It's almost like as far as they're concerned, it doesn't exist. But there have been a couple of things in the last week. This one's worth mentioning that this isn't exactly directly from Disney, but it refers to Disney, so it's in their media distribution catalog. It says down near the bottom, meanwhile, Alita Battle Angel from filmmakers James Cameron, Avatar, and Robert Rodriguez, Sin City, is an epic adventure based upon a manga graphic novel series by Yukito Kishiro. So they're actually mentioning Alita for the first time in relation to Disney's releases. So that's fantastic. And about bloody time. Moving north up the list, AMC theaters are reopening across the US. So that was particularly important early in the week in that it had been seen in some of the online ticket sales that there were actually tickets or sessions available for Alita Battle Angel, but they hadn't actually announced anything. So there was a big sort of buzz. And is AMC going to get on board with Cinemark and Regal, although Regal isn't going to have a lot of cinemas open? There has been a suggestion that several of Regal cinemas in the US will stay open now, but I'm not 100% sure about that. That was some mumblings that were going on across the Twitterverse. But the main focus is Cinemark and AMC's I'll get back to in a minute. But obviously the Regal re-release was announced, and then Regal announced that they were closing everything down. So we might see that in early 2021, that Regal may show Alita if it's shown that there was demand across Halloween. We may well see some more sessions of Alita in the new year. Hopefully we will. We've got Sean O'Connell, who's one of the head guys from Cinema Blend, who's been most definitely in our corner as far as hyping up Alita is concerned. And he tweeted out support messages. Here's your shot, Alita Army. Support it. Send a message. The right people are watching. So this is fantastic news. If you've been on Twitter, you know all about this, but obviously not everybody is glued to Twitter like some of us. So that is a particularly nice message that I'm hoping will go places and do things. But the re-release is obviously something that snowballed and something that will help us move towards a sequel. And then we have the cinema giant Cineworld, which controls Regal Cinemas. They announced that they were closing down cinemas in the UK and the US until next year, which is disappointing because that was a main part of the re-release. But that was sort of a downer during the week, but then we had more ups to follow. Cinemark asked us, Alita Army, help us get the word out that Alita is coming back to theaters. Can we get 1,000 retweets? Well, we knocked that over in about 23 hours. Well done, Alita Army, for jumping on board there. Very impressed with that. There was a lot of work done by some of the people in the panel here and some of the people in the chat. They did a lot of work getting that news out across all the different social medias. So well done, guys. It's always great when we pull together and make things happen. Alita Conquering Angel says Clownfish TV YouTube video about Alita's return has 2.1k upvotes, which is great. I don't know if they're mentioned on here, actually. I didn't see them, but Clownfish had 2 videos, one before our Twitter trending the week before last and one after. Cinema Blend had a video. And I think there was another video as well. Does anybody remember what the other video was? Looper, that was the big one. Yes, thank you. Yes, thank you, Star. Yes, Star's on the news. He always is. So, yeah, Looper did a particularly good video about it, which got a lot of views. It was somewhere around the 150,000 views or something like that. Last time I checked.
No, it was a lot more.
A lot more?
I'm looking it up now, so
Yeah.
you go ahead and
Radio, pull that data for us. Good job. Okay, so Cinemark tweets about the Alita re-release and Rodriguez and Lando react. So Rodriguez sounded very happy in his tweet that his biggest grossing movie was going to gross a little bit more.
The video made, sorry when I'm interrupting, 600,000 views.
That's insubstantial.
and 15,000 likes with only 231 dislikes.
Yeah, well, we got to have some haters. I mean, that's one thing, guys, that we're going to have to get used to is that if Alita becomes ascendant and gets more time in the media, the haters are going to come out again. So I think when the Alita army was nascent and we didn't have a real feeling for what the fandom was going to be like, we had people reacting badly to the haters. I think we've all experienced the haters now, and laughing at them is the best policy. I do know that people like Jeff, he had a lot of fun with a hater there who was giving everybody the middle finger because he had no arguments on Twitter there this week. So well done, Jeff, for staying calm and not sinking to their level. That's what we've got to do, guys. We've got to show them we're better than they are by, keeping it fun, keeping it positive. We don't need to throw hate against hate because that's what they're after. Don't feed the trolls. So Rodriguez has responded across Twitter. Landau actually produced a poster with back in theaters October 30, which is now going to be very important. We'll get onto that in a minute. In the things that we're going to be doing to support the re-release, so that's going to be the next section that we're going to talk about. So we're going to have a trending event. This is going to be Thursday, October 22nd, the usual time of day. that it is in your part of the world. So for Eastern Australia, I think for Angelis, it's going to be 9 p.m. For me, it's going to be 10 p.m. because we're in daylight savings time now. So that's in Eastern Australia. But you'll have to look up 1100 hours UTC to get the time in your zone. We'll have a countdown timer on Twitter for that. So we'll make sure that you're aware of that one. But the hashtag will be Go Watch Alita. Please don't use that before the trending. There's a very good reason for that, because any use of a hashtag before you attempt to trend will have to be minused from the trending hashtags before it starts to trend. So we don't want to use that hashtag until 1100 hours UTC on Thursday, October 22nd. Okay, so be aware of that. Please don't use that hashtag until that time. Remember, guys on the panel, if you've got any comments on any of these, jump in. I'm quite happy to be interrupted so that you can bring up something that I've missed, because I'm not all aware of every little thing that's been going on. So the Alita Battle Angel blue check marked account has awoken. It's been silent for, probably since the Blu-ray release.
I think someone mentioned it was last December, the last pre-release or something like that.
It was a while back.
Insane.
Oh, well, there you go.
I would have thought it might have woken up when Brazil got their Blu-ray release finally, because boy, those guys fought hard for that and they deserved it. That was one of the big successes in the last month that I probably haven't mentioned. So well done, Brazil. Welcome to the 21st century. I'm sorry it took them so long to get to you.
Well, it hasn't been updated yet. I think that really did, like, even temporarily boost the numbers of the Blu-ray sales too.
Would have had to.
They were like it wasn't just like a several 100,000 people. Like, it just sold like fire.
And to echo Vladdy in the chat there, yes, we're going to be talking about the Billboard shortly. Foxfire will have an update on that. So that's why he's sort of hanging around in the background there doing his Alita model, which is another thing that we're probably going to have a stream on sometime near the end of the month. Okay, back to the news. So as I said, the Alita Battle Angel account has reactivated, which is good news in a way, because I would suspect that that is controlled by Disney now. So that means that somebody at Disney has decided this is going to make Disney some money, and therefore they're going to get on the bandwagon and get involved. So that is sort of an official, not official Disney action towards Alita. So that's great.
It's also the only link to Disney. As you said, it's official and non-official. You could argue that it's Disney who activated that account, but as you stated, nothing else from Disney made even a peep about that thing. The whole thing was instigated by James Cameron, John Lando, Robert Rodriguez. They're the only ones talking, and Cinemark. So it looks like for me that they are only the ones that pull that off. And for me, it tells like who is in power of that IP. It's not Disney. And when to be honest, like it's like completely coming from Cameron's corner. So it looks for me like that when we're talking about who owns the IP, that looks for me like Cameron does own it.
That's what I think.
I'm hoping you're right, and Rodriguez was just misquoted during those articles that were suggesting it belonged to Disney.
I really think that like it's like the only one information in that regard, and that article was also I don't want to put any shade, but this article wasn't an interview directly, but he wrote down from the panel. You know, he listened to the panel, and somewhere along the line, Rodriguez dropped that information. So it might be a little bit wrong, or came a little bit wrong across in that heat of that discussion, because Rodriguez was with other directors talking about IPs, etc. And So it might be, I would say inaccurate or not on point. Maybe something got lost in translation, as you often say. And it's only like a point or hint that we got that it might be with Disney, but actually at this point I don't believe that anymore. There might be some kind of like first right of refusal thing going on, and that's maybe the amount of power that Disney has that it exerts to, so maybe that's the only power they have to say, like, okay, we are the first one, you have to ask, and we stay silent to keep it low-key so that it can't go elsewhere, but we are also not willing to do something with it now. And that's like how it reads for me. But now where Cameron is suddenly doing something about Alita, it looks for me like, if that is that situation, then it might be that this timer is running out for Disney, and Disney has now to do something about it or lose the IP.
Yeah, it's hard to know, but your suppositions have some weight to them based on what's been happening this week. So I give them some credit, but we don't have any 100% official.
Of course, no. It's just like a guesstimate. I'm trying to find somehow a silver lining in all those actions, but I'm as smart as the guy next door could say. It's just what I could pick together from all what we got.
Yep. No, well, that's what we've got to do. In the absence of clear information, you've got to make suppositions. We don't have much of a choice. So something I wanted to bring up from chat. Now, where was it? Yes, Enigma Seeker earlier this week showed me a link to an Indonesian Disney Plus site. It's called Disney Plus Hot Picks or something like that. But basically, my understanding of it was that it was created by Fox under the second part of the title. And and it's a streaming service for non-US zones, including India, which is a massive market. And Alita Battle Angel is on streaming on that service. Now, when Disney took over Fox, they just put Disney Plus over the top of that. So it's like Disney Plus Hot Picks or whatever it is, to combine the two names together so that people could recognize that the brands were linked. And it does have Alita Battle Angel on Disney Plus non-US, right? So that is a thing. So I think it's got a lot to do with the licensing of the streaming arrangements that Fox already had in place before the merger. But if they're willing to put Alita Battle Angel under Disney Plus in India and Indonesia, which has some significant population, then we may be seeing it across the entirety of Disney Plus at some point. So that was a very interesting thing that came out of this week, and I hope I've covered that well enough for you there, Enigma. Hot Star, thank you. Yes, I don't have it up in front of me, so I got the first part right. So, yeah. So that's the Indonesian one, but there's also an India in the subcontinent India as well. So, yeah, but it's pretty big. There's a big population center for those regions. So then later on in the week, James Cameron tweeted out, "We are with you, Alita Army. Alita is coming back to the big screen on October 30th." So this is one of the few times James Cameron has actually tweeted anything to do with Alita since the movie premiered. And the fact that he's referenced us means that he knows that we were instrumental in making this happen. So that's a big pat on the back, guys. Well done, Alita Army. We've done it. We've got the attention of JC. So he knows we're doing stuff. And he's on board with it. So that's fantastic. So it's been a big week, like news. Oh boy. So that's mentioned twice. Now there was more information about the new Prime 1 Alita Motorball Berserker figure that they're planning on. It is massive. There was some quotes in the chat earlier on about the weight and the size of the thing, but the diorama that it sits on is huge. So our two biggest collectors that we know of, Cranberry and Gunnm Collectibles, have said that they've got to rearrange their collections to fit. So you can imagine that it's going to be quite sizable.
It's going to weigh 106 pounds.
Whoa.
So you might need to reinforce the floor. Right, gotcha.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Imagine carrying it in and
Oh
setting it up.
God. I had to go pick up the Prime 1 box from the UPS store myself. I don't know how this one's going to work.
Oof.
Get Rado to do it. Tell him it's his turn.
Oh, that's going to be, I'm getting the UPS guys to do it.
So there was a statement of price. I think it's like, what, 1,600 and something US?
1,649.
Yeah. So in the Pacific peso, that's like 2,300 plus massive amounts of shipping. So I don't think I'll be getting one, but impressive nonetheless. I would love this one because I love Motorball, but yeah, you get that.
I was really shocked by the fact that they didn't announce a simplified version of it.
With just the character.
Yeah. I'm not sure if that maybe will come or not, but they haven't said a peep about it, so I'm guessing this is just a go big or go home edition.
I think they've realized that there's people in the fandom that have money to spend on these things, so they've gone exactly the way you said, go big or go home.
Or if you mean it's less sense than anything.
Well, the less work they have to do for the more money probably works well for them.
Yeah.
Okay, and then as has been mentioned in chat, we were getting to it, guys. I'm sorry this is taking so long, but big week in news. AMC Theatres got on the bandwagon officially. Prepare yourself. Alita Battle Angel returns to AMC Theatres. Tickets go on sale October 15. Set your reminder now. So as I said a couple of weeks ago, we're hoping for an avalanche. The avalanche has begun. There are also apparently some smaller theatre chains that are getting on board. So check all your local cinemas, support them all if you can. If you feel comfortable enough to go out to the cinema to see the movie, please do. Spread the love around. Let's get all of these sessions with people in them. I don't expect that Alita is going to save the US theatre industry, but at least you might be able to keep them ticking over for a few more weeks. That's us. Yes. So part 2 of Tilly Lockie's biography is on YouTube now. The YouTube channel that it's on is I can't remember the name of it. It's not on here. 2 Minute Stories or something. 2 Minute Videos. Yeah, thank you. I was close. On Minute Video, right? Yeah, cool. So check that one out. I saw it the other night. It's very good. And at the very end, it says supported by the Alita Army. So we got a shout out in that one.
And a personal shout out as well, like as part of the video narration, I guess, if you will, because she basically mentions us as a fandom. There you go. Yeah.
So there's the actual section with support from the Alita Army. So there we are. So all that money that we pump into various things, some of them have been delayed, like the Hero Arms through Open Bionics. There's been a delay in that because of the COV. So that is still coming. We did want to get Tilly over to the US to present them, but obviously with the pandemic and international travel, that's currently not possible. So at this point, it looks like it's going to be delayed a little bit longer, and depending on how things turn out with the hopefully the downturn in the pandemic, then she might be able to make that happen, but we don't know as yet. I did mention a few weeks ago that the collection for the Rosa Salazar Appreciation Gift was completed, and that money is now together. There is some question about when that will be happening because of supplies of the bust and getting things shipped to the US. Tilly was supposed to be involved in that one as well. So they were going to try and time them to be both together when Tilly could be in the US, but that again is up in the air because of the lack of international travel and the pandemic. So we'll keep you informed about how that's going. We realize that you've put money into that and you want to see the results of that. We've seen the results of one of these things that we've the Alita Army's pumped money into, and the other ones are still coming. So just like most of the collectibles, we get to wait, but it'll be worth the wait.
Man, talk about the what goes around comes around sorts of karma, because I remember when I first saw the video of when Landau presented Tilly with the hero arm, and then she went to the premiere, how awesome it would be for her to then like present it, the bust to Rosa, and then, you know, she can like be displaying the hero, like the berserker design of the hero arms and whatnot. I mean, I'm just getting giddy with excitement just thinking about it, you know.
Yeah, they've picked. She's actually their ambassador, and that was a very good choice. She's very good at it, and I think there was also a tweet just about 12 hours ago where the two people who created Open Bionics.
I remember that one.
They got some award or other. I'm trying to remember what it was.
Yeah, I tweeted about it as well.
Come on, brain work.
I'll look it up.
Yeah, if you could, that'd be great. Thanks. Do you have the name of the award there, Star? Have you found the tweet?
Oh, I found it. Sorry, I found it. Basically, the tweet says, huge congrats to our co-founders at Cy Sam and at Joel Gibbard, who have been awarded MBEs.
That's what it was.
Whatever that means, in the Queen's Birthday Honours 2020.
I think it's the Order of the British Empire. No, it's OBEs.
Oh, yep. Hang on a sec. I'll do that in Thingo chat.
Okay, Vladdy, you're our resident Brit. What is an MBE versus an OBE? Suppose I could just Google it, couldn't I? Member of the Order of the British Empire, just to confuse me a bit.
Oh, yeah, so the M would be member and the BE would be British Empire, so member.
So like the CBE or an OBE, the MBE is the Order of the British Empire Award. It is the third highest ranking Order of the British Empire Award behind CBE and then OBE. That's as confusing as mud, isn't it? Okay, well, yep. So it's pretty good. Let's just say that's pretty swank. So well done to the creators of Open Bionics. You're doing great work. Okay, so this section was going to be headed up by Odd John Oots, but he's not here. So what we're about to talk about is the Alita re-release hype train. So this is our job, Alita Army. We need to hype that re-release. We need to get people out to the cinemas. We need to get them using their brains when they go to the cinemas and wearing a mask, taking the hand sanitizer. Eat before you go so you're not munching in the cinema. Social distance and enjoy Alita. That's what we need people to do. So things that we can do to support the Alita re-release. Now, this is a list produced by Odd John Hoots. I was hoping he was going to be here to expand upon these points, but unfortunately he's not available at the moment. So obviously the first one, and I've seen a few mentions of this on Den's stream and the post-stream chat yesterday, but buying movie tickets and giving them away. So even if you're not in the continental USA, or even if you are, you couldn't buy some movie tickets and give them away. There's been suggestions that buying tickets to cinema outlets where there aren't a lot of tickets sold, and then contacting that particular theatre and saying, these ticket numbers I have purchased, I'm giving them away. So please make them available at your front desk if anybody comes in who wants to see a movie and can't afford it. Please give them these tickets. So that's been suggested as a possible way to support when you can't actually go yourself. I think Uriel's Machine was planning to buy lots and lots and lots of tickets. So if you feel like you like to support it in that fashion, that's one option. Again, panel, jump in if you've got any comments along these lines. I'm just running through the points that I've got here.
I just looked up hype train memes, and there were some doozies on there. One even I don't think it's Alita related, but one of them literally says, all aboard the hype train, non-stop to scrapyard.
Cool.
And the reason why I don't think it's Alita related, because it's like there's no sort of like overlay of like a graphic of the name of the movie or anyone's face or anything like that. It's just like a normal train from somewhere, and it just happens to mention scrapyard. And
Okay,
then there's another one of like where there's like a car stuck on the front of the train. It just says hype train coming through. And I can imagine just like, that's like the leader hype train right now. And then my personal favorite, when the hype train isn't enough, it's like a hype train with wings. A hype train plane.
Cool. So John is actually here now. John, how you doing?
Hey guys.
Hey Johnny.
Yeah, sorry I'm dipping in behind. I kind of not surprised that this happened, but you know how it goes. Well, actually was going to come in with something prepared, but that changed. So
it wouldn't be Radio Chaos without some chaos, dude.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Somebody's got to bring the chaos.
Yeah, it's been a crazy one today, but I figured I'd pop in while I could.
Do you have access to the show notes? I'm just working through your points.
No, I can't. I'm actually I'm hands-free, don't worry, but I'm actually heading off somewhere at the moment, heading back to the house. But I have you guys in my ear, or one of my ears.
So just chime in when I bring up these points, because you probably had more thoughts upon this than just the points. Point number 2 is host private or public showings at theatres. So some theatres are actually allowing you to bring in your own DVD and play it in the theatre setting. Not quite as good as a proper re-release, but if your area doesn't have any, it is something that you can do to get the movie showing. You can also get your friends along to that. You could possibly open it up to people off the street, although with the Culver around, you might not feel entirely confident with doing that. But it is a way to go to the cinema and know the people who you're sitting around with, and you have a little bit more faith that they're not contagious. So
and it varies in prices, because I don't know how many theaters are doing that. I know Cinemark was the one that, that's who we targeted to start with, but I think it's a little pricey. But if you break it down like person to person, it's around, I think for 10 people, it's $99, which that's not counting tax, of course, but that's about what? Bringing in 10 people, about roughly $10 a person, I think. I'm shit at math, so but
$99 is cute though. It's kind of
right.
fits.
I know. I thought the same thing when I saw that. I was like, is that intentional, or is that just me and my Alita brain talking?
Alita brain.
Must find the 99. Must find the.
Yes, it's everywhere, man. telling you, you can't go anywhere without seeing it. But but then there's I think it's 100 and I might get this number wrong, but 120 something if you want to bring 20 people. So it's a little pricey. But the thing is I wonder if there's like a time limit, because they say you can bring your Blu-ray. Well, some people have box sets, so is it limited to, I know this isn't Alita's just one disc, but what if you could go in there and watch the movie and then all the extras and stuff? I wonder if they'd allow that. That's something I was thinking about.
If the people are in there, and what I'm told is that cinema chains make most of their money on food.
Yeah.
So if you're going to the theater, I know I said it previously, eat before you go in, but maybe you can, buy some food and eat it before you go in, just to help keep the cinema alive. Yeah.
And I wonder how much of that money, or the money with those watch parties, or bring your Blu-ray, which I think that's really cool that they're doing that, by the way. But I don't know. I wonder if all that goes to just the theater chain, or if, depending on what, I don't know. I don't know all the legalese behind it, but.
Yeah, I always thought it was a bit dubious when most DVDs and Blu-rays say not to be, shown in a public environment, and then say, come in and play your DVD on us.
Well, that's kind of what I thought. I was like, there has to be some kind of, that's a little gray area there that they're exploring, which I'm all for it. They have to find some way to, stay alive. And actually, my boss, I was talking to him just the other day about this, and which, by the way, he says congrats. He's been hearing me rattle on about this movie for, damn near 2 years, coming up pretty soon here. So he's pretty happy about that. But he mentioned that, Cinemark and some of these other theaters ought to consider like little pop-up drive-ins. Like, I know some of them are just static and they're just, there. But I don't know if I told you guys about this, but my mom and a couple other people got this little thing organized where they brought up a big sheet and they projected movies up on that. And I wonder if maybe the theater chains could come up with something similar. But I don't know. I don't know how that would work. But
yes, the demise of the drive-in theatre, especially in Australia, is unfortunate now given the current situation, because, driving up in your own car and staying safe is a good thing. So just jumping into the chat for a minute. Muskogee, we're doing a billboard. We'll be talking about that shortly with Foxfire. He has the details of that. So there is advertising happening. But of course, if you want to do something individual in your area, advertising wise for the movie, feel free. The good thing about the Alita Army is that people go off and work on their own recognizance, and they produce wonderful things. So that would be good. Yes, Star, I remember that you want to show the ad. So we'll get to those shortly when we get to what the Alita Army is organising as far as massed advertising is concerned.
I had a question, if you don't mind.
Sure.
So first of all, I found out one small local theater will rent their theater for any Blu-ray or DVD for $150 on a weekday and $200 on a weekend. But you can keep it for hours and kind of as many people as you want. So you're renting space and they just play it. But then I also bought tickets for the local Cinemark. I got tickets 4 nights in a row. And,
nice.
Damn.
I bought a whole bunch of extras. And my observation is that it's not selling well, but I think it's because the general public is not aware that it's coming. So I think that is really the biggest concern, is how does the word get out? I'm sure there's many, many people who would see it. They just don't know.
Yeah, I mean, the Alita Army as a group doesn't have the advertising power that a studio does. So we're never going to get that sort of impression upon the community. You could look into things like radio spots, because a lot of people listen to the radio in their car. And if you can produce something small and and pitch it to the radio station. Give us a discount because we're like a fan group and we're trying to stop cinemas from becoming a footnote in history. Trying to help them out. They might do it as sort of like a public awareness campaign. So, give it a shot. Talk to the radio stations, because the thing about radio advertising is that unless the person turns the radio off, they can't fast forward or skip the ads.
Right.
Which is important these days because people do that all the time.
Yeah, I'm hoping that Cinemark does some advertising, on their own, obviously, as the reason they're re-releasing it. But I've seen nothing anywhere.
Yeah, I haven't either.
I wouldn't know about it if it was for the Alita Army, obviously.
Yeah. So our little circle, it's an obvious thing, but then there's a much greater circle out there that we need to penetrate into to get the awareness up.
Yep. That's the
they
part.
they did on Twitter a part by posting some tweets, and they have like 60,000 followers that they can activate or basically reach. And like that one tweet where they asked for us to reshare that thing 1,000 times is basically, it's kind of weird who were doing the heavy lifting, but it was at least initiated by them. And the idea isn't actually bad, like getting a lot of reshares out, and so reach a lot of people by that. And if you have 1,000 reshares, you can be sure that a few million impressions come together with that. But it's also kind of hard to leave that bubble we are in, because Twitter is very good to build up bubbles and contain people in those, except for some tweets who break through those bubbles and manage to somehow go really like trending on their own, you could say. So it's not something you see on a tab, but you see them suddenly have like hundreds of thousands of likes, and it just happens like that for sometimes very mundane stuff, but also sometimes pretty cool stuff. But you can't for us, it's hard to predict which things blow up and which not, So, but they did make a good attempt with that. So it just didn't like work out like maybe they planned or so.
The other weird thing is I bought tickets for the 29th. It's Thursday, and when I just looked at their website, it's no longer listed on the 29th. So I'm wondering if I'm going to get like a private show on the 29th when I show up. I have tickets.
Seems odd.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm just really grateful that we have it, a few weeks to get kind of build up the hype, because Cameron's I don't know how long of a boost that'll last, but we'll have to keep that going for a while.
Yeah. I don't know, maybe, yeah. I'm trying to get the word out here locally, but it's hard for me to do it on my own.
So that's what I'm saying. Things like radio advertising might be a way to go if you can pitch it as a public service to try and keep the theaters running.
Yeah, I've got a couple friends who are radio announcers. I'll ask them. I hadn't thought of it.
Go for it.
There you go.
Yeah.
So I've got a mate who's a radio announcer as well. I think just every second person does, but he's not local and we don't have it here. So, but if we do, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I'll try that. That's a good idea. Thanks.
Yeah. So reach out to your communities. Try community groups. Like if you're in a club of any description, just throw it out there, and the pitch is always important. It's called the elevator principle. You're trying to save theaters by getting people to go and see a movie safely. Always add the safely bit, because the first reaction will be, oh, the COVID, I don't want the COVID, I'm not going to the cinema. Tell them that there's a safe way to do it. If you just follow these simple instructions, there's very little chance of you catching anything. They do a thorough COVID clean between each session. You'll be sitting spaced, wear a mask, try not to eat in the cinema if you're near anybody else. Do all the smart things, and you can enjoy the movie. What else? There was stuff in the chat, but it's moving so fast I'm having trouble keeping up with it.
Charles had a good one in there, but I'm not good with what he's describing.
So what's he describing?
He said on metric to use, or one metric
Google
to use,
Trends.
go on Google Trends and type Alita. Right now, web searches of Alita are at 18%. Yep, and there it goes again. 18% of February 2nd maximum. If advertising for Alita is doing well, that percent, I don't know what that
Be
next
greater
part
than
means.
20%.
Yeah, he's basically comparing our February numbers, like when we did start the plane over the Oscars, with our current time. And yes, the thing is, so we have like currently like 20% of that attention that we had in February, and this is basically with the articles, with the Cameron tweet, with the videos. So it's not as many Google searches as back then. But this might still change when we start our own advertisements. And I'm wondering how it now looks, because that Google Trends is also a few days behind. It's not always on the same day. When you look at it, you are like a few days behind. So it's good to see also, or to wait a bit until it has counted basically all the hits. That you can't find. So it might go up a bit.
So I think we have to rely on other resources to get the word out. Not just Twitter, but I think, again, I've tried to actually message news outlets about like what was going on with it, too, like NBC and ABC and like WGN in my local area, to try to see if it was something that they would cover, because if it could go like on the actual news, then that's going to massively affect who's going to hear about it.
Yeah, especially when you get the morning news, like when you something like that, when people are basically finish themselves for work and then they have the news on, and that's a good thing if you could get it there.
People react differently to news than they do to ads. People want to skip ads, but they want that. But news is different. People will actually stop and listen to news. So I think if you know anybody in the news in your local area, if you have any contacts in that fashion, go out and speak to them. Tell them, look, there's not a lot of good positive things going on at the moment, but here's a positive news story. Spin it out to them. Tell them what's happening. Tell them it's national, but get them working locally. And then you might be able to see some movement there. So that's a very good idea. Okay, I'm going to scoot through some of these quickly because we have a couple of other things to do, and we're coming up on the 2-hour mark, so I don't want to run too long. Buy Blu-rays and DVDs and give them away. I'm not 100% sure how much that will convince people to go to the cinema, but it's a possibility.
Yeah.
Invite friends who have not seen Alita or not seen Alita on the big screen to go and watch the movie. So, you know, people have a lot more faith in friends as far as infection rates are concerned than random other people that you might be spending time in the cinema with. So if you can get friends along and you're all sitting, you know, socially distanced, then you can all enjoy the movie together. So that's worth doing. You might have more leverage with friends than with completely random people in this day and age to go to the cinema.
Even in normal circumstances.
Yes, exactly. Include the hashtag DC Universe in tweets at DC Tweets for bot retweets. So that will retweet to the DC Universe people who are following it. That might be useful, although they might get really pissed off if we use that during our Twitter trend. They may get pissed off with 5,000 tweets running through that. So maybe we shouldn't do that during the trending attempt. Give Alita merchandise as a gift. Now, as there's not a lot of it, I do know that Enigma Seeker went out on a limb and gave his only steelbook to the head of Cinemark, and that may or may not have done the trick with Cinemark re-releasing Alita, but at least it was a solid attempt, and I appreciate Enigma's efforts there in giving away his only steelbook to get things happening. So
I want to do something about that as well. I mean, like, I'd give my own personal people
Oh,
sorry, but yeah, I'd love to do something about that because I'd give my own steelbook if I could, if it means re-releasing it here in Australia. But I mean, unless you can find actual copies that are on for sale, then damn. I mean, it's not exactly like a dime a dozen, or it's not exactly something they can always find.
No.
I mean, even now, normal Alita DVDs sell a lot more than, apologies for bringing it up, than Captain Marvel. But
I think it's a matter of understocking
or
more than anything else.
Yeah. So
there were some issues with stocking, but they seem to have improved somewhat.
Yeah, I think what you're saying, like understocking, like they made basically a fixed margin maybe earlier, and they had problems to deliver those Blu-rays in the first place. Like it took them way too long. It should be like 90 days to 3 months after release, but we had like to wait for 6 months. So that is also an indication that they had production problems, and so they never made that many and stopped at one point producing them. And which is like we said, there are smaller movies, there are like the Tron movies that are still producing Blu-rays up to this date. You can still go there everywhere and buy them, or Age of Tomorrow, you can still buy that one, and it's not a bigger franchise than Alita. So
okay, let me pound through these quickly because we're running out of time and there's a couple of important things we need to show. So edit videos about Alita, there's a lot of people doing that, but this would be a good time to release any new AMVs or things that you're putting out about Alita, and also include information about the re-release. Draw and or paint Alita art, or share Alita art and attribute it and talk about the re-release at the same time. Donate to the Alita sequel poll and vote. Not entirely sure what that's referring to, but we will be having another Go Get funding shortly. We'll be hearing about that from Fox in just a second. Go see the movie several times. I think we're all over that.
Yeah.
And yep, Jeff, we're going to be doing that shortly. Retweet any tweet or any other theatre change requesting re-released. Don't just like them, but retweet them. And there are a number of change mentioned here, but we've got Alamo Drafthouse, Regal, we're already all over that. Phoenix Theatres, Bowtie Cinemas, CA Theatres, Cinemark, obviously, AMC, obviously, Regency Theatres, BB Theatres, Cobb Theatres, and Marcus Theatres. So there's a whole bunch of different theatre change on Twitter that you can link into tweets. Takes a deep breath. Okay. There's so much to get through. God damn.
There is. It's been a busy week.
Okay. So handing it over now to Foxfire and Star to talk about the big advertising that we're doing. Fox, do you want to cover the Billboard first, and then we'll get Star to talk about the YouTube ad? Foxfire.
Yeah, basically what we are at is to set up a billboard in Orlando, Florida, close to an AMC theater, and it's also close to those Disney spring resorts and headquarters. So it's also an opportunity basically to knock once more on that door. Yeah, and it will be around $1,600 bucks. And the possibility is to get like 1 million to 2 million impressions during that time. It will be up for a week. So starting from the 20th, I think until like 7 days later. So it will be able to synergize with our trending event, which will be on the 22nd, and hopefully gets more cover and helps to amplify. And we get basically with that some physical boots on the ground, not just online stuff. And yeah, the only thing, since it's on a highway, it will be a bit difficult, or more difficult for any like pedestrians to photograph it, or for somebody who is driving. So so we may have to like set up something that we send somebody from our fandom, and so that we maybe is able from the opposite side, not on the road, but basically behind that, to make a photo or so. Or I ask Edquit to do a photo for us that we can share on social media then in that time. I'm on that stage that I compiled a text which needs to be revised. When that is up, the Go Get funding would go up by, I think, tomorrow. So we could collect a few days, and the option for overfunding is also activated with the idea to donate half of the overfunded money, and the other half suggested that we use it to funnel it into further YouTube ads, basically, or to expand the campaign, basically, so to reach more people. So yeah,
there you go.
Yeah, by now we have only a fixed amount, so we could go and make it bigger. Yeah, and yeah, that's basically it for the billboard. I hope yeah, it helps in this threefold strategy. Yeah.
Just to add a little bit of context to the billboard, you might think it's strange that it's just one billboard in Florida, and there's a whole United States. But the idea is that a crowd-funded billboard is an unusual thing. We're hoping to get it picked up, certainly by Cinema Blend, maybe by Looper, hopefully by local news. So if you're in the Florida area, see if you can get the local news aware of it. It's another way to get it in the news. So what we want to do is make this thing blow up and be much bigger than just a physical billboard that people drive past and see the ad. We want to turn it into something bigger than that. So if you're in Florida, we rely upon you to tell your local news agencies about it. Say that there's a fandom that's so keen about this re-release that we're trying to help the cinemas. We're trying to get a sequel. Get it on the news. Get people talking about it outside the fandom. So that's on you, Florida. Come on, we need you to be on top of that.
I just want to reinforce one thing. We are doing a big favor also towards those cinema chains. We all know cinemas are in a bad spot right now, and it's not just that they do a favor to us with that re-release. We do something maybe even far bigger to them, and if that runs good, or if they have a good run, it's speculated that other movies will follow. So Disney might pull up with their Marvel movies or Star Wars movies on those re-releases. So the recent ones, not just old ones. And so Alita is basically a test bed for all those things. So it's a lot bigger than we might think now, but it has to work out. So yeah,
I have a question. Where in Florida is it? Do we know, or has it not been decided yet?
It's in Orlando. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I wonder if we have anybody near there. I could maybe take some pictures of it.
Well, Eddie's in Florida and Den's in Florida, but I don't know how close they are to Orlando or whether they'd be getting down that way. But maybe they can make a trip. I don't know. I know that Eddie and Den are planning to get together to see the movie, which will be great. We want pictures, guys.
Yes, please.
Pictures. Okay.
Cool. I was talking muted. My bad. I said I'm 45 minutes away.
Cool. Do you reckon you could pop down there at some point if you can make the time to get a picture of the billboard?
Yeah, I'll do it.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Boots on the ground.
Boots on the ground. Yeah. Okay. So, Star, do you have anything you want to add about the Twitter video? We want to play that, don't we? Not Twitter video. What I'm saying, YouTube video. The ad. That. Yeah.
First, I'll just start by saying that depending on how much you all want to devote towards the campaign, you may be able to get I don't know, 50, maybe probably 50,000 impressions, possibly maybe more than that. That's just for $500. But if you go higher than that, maybe to 1,000, right? $1,000, you could probably get 100,000 impressions. So it's
Wow.
worth a shot. It's worth a shot. It's going to be, if we do it right, it'll be a skippable ad that you can, the ones that play before videos or during the video too, and you have like 5 seconds where you have to watch, and then after that 5 seconds, then you can skip, right? So I pretty much figured that whoever makes it past those 5 seconds are probably hooked in, and they want to see what the rest of the trailer looks like. And I'm not quite sure if I'm understanding this correctly, but I think you don't actually get charged unless they watch the whole video. I'm not quite sure, but anyway, we have a total budget. So anybody who knows a lot about advertising on YouTube, contact me and give me some tips on it, because I'm just learning here. And as you can see the screenshot if you're watching YouTube, you should be able to see the screenshot now of the campaign page that I was just kind of doing a test, just seeing what comes up, $500 and seeing what we can get. And that's pretty much how you can see how the ad will look in the center right there. And that's on the mobile phone, of course. Desktop will look different, but like I said, if you know anything about advertising on YouTube, give me some advice. So I'll play. Yeah.
So, Star, who did the video, the trailer video?
The trailer video was done by John Aaron Garza something. His name is at the end of the video in the credits. I asked him, I let him know, I was like, we may use this as an advertisement on YouTube. Do you mind? He was like, no, go ahead. And you'll see his name in the credits at the very end of it. And he did the original remix or the original fan trailer, and I added some. I changed a few things in there to make it current, right? I changed the dates in there, and the little intro, the 5-second intro before that, I edited that from another Alita trailer and tried to make it more current. So it's his video with edits by me. So if nobody else has any questions, I'll just go ahead and play it. And hopefully
I wonder. Almost not really a question, more of a statement. I'm guessing it's probably super expensive to get the ads that you can't skip. Then probably.
So,
yeah, I don't know much about it.
Yeah, it's like you can pay per day, or you can set a total budget, and I guess what you decide to do with that budget determines on how far it goes. So I'm just getting the most common type of advertisement, and I guess that's kind of the cheapest. Well, not quite the cheapest, but it's down there. And if I was to probably pick something that you couldn't skip, then the 500 would go. It wouldn't go as far.
I see what you're saying. Interesting.
So do you want to play it, Star?
While he's setting that up, Maxi, how do I deselect someone in this Google call?
Just click it again.
Click the picture.
Oh, yeah, all right.
I click you again.
I find it hilarious how people in the fan base make better trailers than 20th Century Fox did.
I don't know what I am.
I do. Your core was designed to interface with this type of weapon. The instinctive fighting technique you use is Panzerkunst. You are not just a warrior, Alita. You're an armed berserker. The most advanced cyborg weapon ever created.
I've got the sound turned down, but and I'm just 30 seconds behind what I'm
not a
seeing.
game.
It
is a
2
hunt.
seconds ahead of them, so.
I'm paying
But,
500,000 to the
this
one who
trailer
kills.
has
the
a
girl
really
called Alita.
emotional music, and it's got story elements which, you know, feel the person wanting to know more. So I think it's really well. Oh, that's cool. Well, we've got to remember that all the advertising was phoned in because they were all looking for new jobs. That was the real disappointing part. Just let us know when it's ended. Oh, fair enough. Okay, so that's what we're going with. Maybe a little bit of punchy music at the start might attract people's attention to it, but other than that, I think it's terrific.
Yeah, I really like that track, and it's very. I think it's epic. But when we are talking about music, you will not hit everybody's tastes in that. You know, I have to make a guess, and I think it's better than the first two trailers that Fox produced. The third one was really good, but it was so far down the line, so it didn't make that impact, I think. But this one is pretty neat, and yeah, I would not suggest to change that song, because you would have to re-edit that whole thing to make it fit with the song that you're using. And yeah, if somebody is like Puli or somewhere really confident to make a far better one, then yeah, of course, change it. But I think we should stick with that. But is that just my opinion?
No, I'm not saying change the music for the whole thing. I just mean, you know how they have that sort of dramatic drum sting, like just to pull people's attention to it at the very beginning, rather than just clicking through it because they haven't caught on to it yet. That was about the only thing I thought of that might pull a few more views. That's all.
Yeah, I thought about
A couple
that.
folks are
I was
saying
gonna
that,
try to
Chad.
use I was thinking about trying to use the Motorball song, but it just didn't fit. In that 5 seconds, like the whole, you can't fit enough of the Motorball song to really do it justice. So it's kind of like, there's no point in really even trying to cut 5 seconds out of it.
Yeah, no, fair enough. I just before we finish up, because it's getting close to ending here. In fact, Alita Rave's got to head off, so thank you for joining us, Alita Rave. He's got dinner on the table.
Yeah, great day. Thank you.
No worries. We'll be doing this again. More Hype Train for the whole rest of the month, so do join us. So I just wanted to show off this tweet. ST retweeted Robert Curie. He says, best movie description ever. An amputee war veteran amnesiac who rediscovers the strength to protect the family that helped her recover, complete the mission that killed her squad, and kill the man that left her for dead. Maybe people like this film because it's a good film. That is an excellent description for
It is.
Elite Battle Angel. I love that one. So if anybody says, what is this movie about? Go for that. Because I think that will resonate quite well. Also, where's my other...
You could probably turn the argument on them, saying if they say that it's terrible, and you can say, "Oh, so you are like you're against PTSD amputees, so you're against this or that."
Yeah.
No,
when you want to pull that off.
There's a million different angles that you can put on the haters for this.
Oh, yeah.
They've just got no comebacks to, and that's one of them.
I had something I wanted to say about that. Y'all, don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if people. I mean, people have already come out of the woodworks to bash what we're doing. They've been doing that since day one. Don't let. I mean, I'm not really one to talk. I think, but as the further this goes, and maybe even during the release weekend, there's probably going to be quite a few people coming out. I don't know if there will be hit pieces or not, but given the current climate things are in right now, everyone's all worked up about COVID. So there's that. People might say stuff like, "Oh, this is dangerous to," just ignore it. I wouldn't even give it a click, to be honest.
Yeah.
Just let them do their thing and just don't say anything. At least I wouldn't.
Yeah.
But
is it true? We had, I think, so far more haters back in the day than, in recent times. I could see that by there were some check marks also complaining on Cameron's tweet, like retweeting his tweet and complaining, but they didn't get any traction on that. They stood alone with their opinion, and that was a really good sign that many people are not joining on that and not buying into that what they are saying, even though they are trying to pull off the sickness card, and it didn't have any traction. But those check marks that were positive about that, they got a lot of reaction, not just from our side.
A lot of positive.
Yeah.
I'm seeing so much of it now, and I didn't think this would get as huge as it has, but let's keep it going, and I think we'll be fine. And even here's the other thing, as far as some folks thinking maybe this will save theaters, I don't know what'll happen. But even if it doesn't, don't let that tear down any of this, at least for you, because we got the movie re-released. This whole time we've been doing this, I don't even think we had heard from Cameron at all until this.
Yeah.
No, that's what I said.
A lot has happened because of this, and
Robert
I think
Rodriguez,
probably the
Orlando.
first thing we've ever actually received back for our efforts, actually. So
Absolutely.
just regardless of what happens or what people say, just bask in that, because it doesn't matter.
Rodriguez's tweet was so positive and happy. You could just
Yeah.
tell by the way he phrased it. And then to have Cameron come in as well.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been hearing from Landau, which, if you follow Eddie's advice, Landau is the voice of Cameron, but to actually have Cameron tweet, that was the ice on the cake.
Yeah, absolutely. And like that, all three kings basically come up and tell us, using our hashtag first thing, like Robert Rodriguez, James Cameron used it the first time and compliment us in that way. And was just happy to announce that. And this was really great. And then that's for me was also, I didn't expect that at all. I thought, okay, maybe that would be the time for Cameron to speak up if any of that there was the best chance. But when he actually did it, I was completely blown away. So
yeah. And by the way, y'all, even I don't know what kind of money this thing could make, but that was never really I mean, for some people it may be the goal, but don't think that just because only a few theaters have picked up on it and it only makes so much money. That's not really what this was about. We got the movie re-released, and I think that's something, regardless of who shows up or who doesn't. They know that a lot more people probably would be showing up if it wasn't for the current world situation.
Also, you can also say
bear that in mind.
that basically at most 40%, if it comes up, of the people that are about even willing to go to the cinema right now, at least most want to sit out the situation or can't even go even if they want.
Right.
And from that percentage, also the cinema is also allowing only 40% at max. We have to yet to get to the point where even those seats are all sold out. But I think personally that most people will make this decision spontaneously. Like
Yes.
when they look at Halloween, what can I do? And there's no trick and treats. They will look into other things they can do, and that might be the thing where we can catch a lot of people and get them into that seats. There will be spontaneous. I'm the same. Like when I don't make up my mind 3 weeks in advance if I want to watch a movie with friends. That's basically most times in the same week where it happens. Like, oh, what I'm going to do this weekend, and then I will look at it. Oh, yeah, okay, Halloween.
Yep.
So let's call up a few friends and do something. That will be the time where those fills, and that will be our meter basically.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
Yeah, we can't count this out until it's happened. So don't be judging it too soon.
yeah, and I know someone was mentioning about like the haters and stuff. There, I've seen a lot of people asking why too on Twitter.
I've seen that too.
And and some people are sarcastic, whatever.
Because we can.
Right. Well, but what I always put is I always say first and foremost it's to help small business. 2, because we love the franchise, we want to support it, and 3, that there's people that wanted to see it but they didn't know about it and now they're getting a chance. In that order, and I think people respect that a lot more.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay, so I want to try and wrap up the conversation here because we're over our 2-hour mark now. And we want to save some of this for next week and the week after because we'll be ramping the hype train up coming into Halloween. So be prepared for that, Alita Army. And keep the ideas flowing on Twitter, Facebook, wherever you're involved with the social media for the Alita Army. Keep the hype train up. Keep the ideas coming. You may think of something we haven't thought of yet. So keep suggesting new things that we can do to try and hype this up and get people back to the cinemas safely and seeing Alita, because that's what we're all here about. Now, before we do finish, I want to go over to Twitter. We put up the question, what is the weirdest or most precious Gunnm Alita collectible that you have or want? Of course, Cranberry had to chime in on this one because that's what she does. She's popped off now. She's doing a whole bunch of artwork for people. That's probably going to be a topic for another week. But she says, the weirdest piece that I have is a random ass comic published in October 1993. I know nothing about the comic series itself. It's completely random, but the parodies amuse her so much and she loves it. For a most precious piece, she'd say it's the coin that Rado and she got from the Alita experience in New York City. But here's a picture of the comic, Ninja High School, and you can see that obviously it's referencing Alita and Ido.
Heavily referencing.
That's so cool.
Very heavily, but it's very cute. I like that a lot. So there's that one. Rado says his most precious Alita merch is copy of Volume 1 of the manga acquired in 1997. I beat you by 4 years, so I can at least say that. Mine was back in 94. So, yep, but it is particularly good. Who could have known picking up that volume at the bookstore would lead to me here over 20 years later? I feel exactly the same way, Rado. That my one manga pickup, like, oh, this looks interesting. Battle Angel Alita. I'll pick that up and oh my god, and so it begins. Many years later, and Cranberry says, "Okay, that does win. I take back what I said." I'll like all of that. Some monkey from Brisbane called David Birch has chimed in. He says, commissioned art pieces by Cranberry Jam to save on shipping. I'm waiting for the third and final piece to be completed. So I don't have that picture, but you can check out the other two on the DeviantArt page. Yes, I've done the same thing. I've got mine already, so I'm pretty chuffed about that. And I'll be showing that off with my next chapter of the fan novel that I'm writing. Vladdy, Alita Warrior 99, said his heart belongs to Hot Toys Alita right now. Really? I hadn't had guessed, Vladdy, with all your posts. His Precious Prime 1 owns his heart, though. He also loves his manga box set and Kishiro art signatures. It's very special to me, and fan art sent by Bozilla and Battle Angel 2661. But here's a picture of Alita holding her heart. So there you go. Very nice.
So pretty.
I believe that Vladdy is organising Rooted Hair for that figure, so looking forward to seeing that when it happens. And he's going to get his ass kicked for not going to sleep yet. Fair enough. Replies. Who is Battle Angel 2661 says you're goddamn right. And he's going off to bed now. Right, fair enough. Korlakic Carl. God, that's hard to pronounce.
I can never say that name.
Yeah, so he's saying we need to talk about news. Job done. Yes, we got a live tour of Gunnm Collectibles collection, which was awesome. And Space Cowboy, I think that's how you say it. Nothing particularly rare, but mine would have to be the Lux box set. Yes, I fully agree. It's awesome. The printing is fantastic. I just wish they hadn't gone and munched up the text quite so much. But yes, it is a thing of beauty. So there's the Twitter responses for this week. So another huge stream, guys. Thank you all for attending. I know some of you didn't get so much. We got a wild Jeff popping in through the middle. So g'day, Jeff. Now where am I? Here we are. Okay, so next week we may have some stuff from now Battle Angel 99, I think it is. Germanic cultures and the Roman. I can't pronounce these German things. I'm really sorry. Maybe
Germanic, I think.
Yeah. Maybe Foxfire can help me with that.
What did you read out there?
Look at the closing section of the show notes.
Oh, I haven't them up now.
Bildungsroman, I think. With respect to the Alita franchise, and of course we'll be going on about more re-release hype, so that will be it. I'm not entirely sure if that video is going to be available or not, but hopefully we'll have that. That will be a deep cut on the German connection with Battle Angel Alita, so that could be interesting if it comes to be. But certainly there will be more of the hype train, so tune in for that next week. If you want to come on the live stream, we do advertise the link to the sign-up page at the bottom of every video that's released for the stream, so look into that if you want to come on. I do know that there was somebody, I think it was David Rupnick, who was looking to come on, so if you want to come on next week, please sign up. We're happy to have new members of the Alita Army on with every single stream. Thank you to our guests this week, Gunnm Collectibles for his fantastic collection, Cranberry Jam for her minimal commentary. She was busy drawing, I understand that. Thanks, Jeff, for popping in, and Alita Rave, and Dave as well. Thanks for coming on. Yeah, well, you're probably going to end up being a regular, mate. I realise this. So thank you all for coming on. Thank you, listeners, for joining us. Do appreciate you. You're the reason we do this. You and the girl. We're here for the girl. You know that much.
You meant Bildungsroman. That's the word.
Yeah, that thing. Yes.
Yeah.
I know next to nothing about that. So hopefully to be educated about that next week.
Yeah.
So thank you, listeners, again for joining us. You're what makes this fandom special. We do this for you. We do this for the girl. We do this for the re-release. We do this for the eventual sequel, which is happening. It's just a matter of time. So thank you all for joining us. And at this point, our slightly modified call to action at the end of the stream. 3, 2, 1. Bye. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next week. Bye for now.
You know, back when I was in the academy, we would follow every toast with a song.
Shiri Sladar,
That's an interesting twist.